So India was planning to send its first rocket and first Indian satellite through its own vehicle into space. This was on August 10, 1979. Dr. Kalam was the leader of this mission, and just about 40 seconds into the launch, the computer gave a signal that something is wrong. And he had a team of 6 senior experts. He consulted with them, and they all told him that it's not a serious problem, let us go ahead. So he bypassed the computer warning, and in a manual mode gave a go-ahead for the rocket to be started, to be launched. 317 seconds into the launch, we know that the rocket eventually crashed, and the first Indian experiment of sending its own satellite by its own rocket was a failure. People had been expecting, there was a lot of media outside, and there was a lot of build-up to this event, and we had a big failure. Professor Satish Dhawan was at IISc. He was a professor at IISc, and he was the chairman of ISRO at the time when Kalam was the mission director. So Professor Dhawan walks up to Dr. Kalam and says, there's a lot of media, we have to address them. He takes Dr. Kalam to the media, and he addresses the media and says, we failed, but it was a good try, and I am sure that the next time we will be successful. The team tries again in July 1980. The first successful launch of the Indian satellite by an Indian vehicle was successful, and Dr. Satish Dhawan again congratulated Dr. Kalam and the team, and very interestingly asked Dr. Kalam to now address the media. I think this is a story we have all known. What is so important, I want to highlight 2 points about knowledge work and leadership here. The first one is knowledge work will always be fretted with failures. We are trying to do something new, we are trying to do something which has not been done before. So risk appetite and failures is something which is expected. The second thing is, this man, Dr. Kalam, was a great man himself. But he would go everywhere and he would say that my biggest lesson of leadership was by Professor Satish Dhawan. So a great man would say, I have learned everything about leadership from what he did, and he would famously say, when failure came, the leader took the responsibility, but when success came, the leader happily passed it on to his team and subordinates. So the second aspect which has to be complemented with task orientation is about relationships. Remember, as human beings, we are emotional, social creatures. We need affection at workplace, we need recognition at workplace, we need communication at workplace. And I say that the foundation of relation orientation is open, two-way, honest communication. We have to get into this dialogue where I just don't know everything. I have to be willing to listen to others, and the story of Nadella, story of Steve Ballmer, and these people sort of resonate this point. And yeah, so this category I talk about inspiring, supporting, recognizing as important aspects of this. The third part of the treat is empowering, where empowering behavior is again consulting and delegating. Again, it is important in knowledge work that we don't know everything. We have to consult and talk and understand what the other people, my subordinates, are trying to say, and involve subordinates in decision-making processes, leading to better decisions. And the best thing is, if you have your subordinates who take the decisions, then you don't have to bother about their implementation. Because if your people have taken those decisions, they will also ensure that they go ahead and implement it. On the other hand, if you are directing all the time, then you will also have to wonder whether what I have said will be implemented or not.